Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again. And today's story is one you absolutely cannot miss. Just 5 minutes ago, a shocking revelation shook the entire Korean entertainment world. Lee Soon-jae's wife has finally broken her silence and revealed his massive will. But the real bombshell is what happened next. The moment she heard the name of the heir, she collapsed in tears, leaving the whole family stunned. In this video, we uncover every hidden detail, the emotional breakdown, the mysterious heir, and the truth behind this sudden turmoil. What was written in that will? And why did it hit her so hard? Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates. Your support means the world to us. Now let's get into the shocking truth behind today's breaking news. Only minutes ago, an emotional earthquake rippled through South Korea's entertainment world as the wife of legendary actor Lee Soon-jae finally broke her silence and revealed the full contents of his enormous will. What was expected to be a quiet, private disclosure suddenly transformed into a storm of disbelief, shock, and overwhelming grief the moment she reached the final page and read aloud the name of the heir. Witnesses described the scene as unbearably heartbreaking, saying she suddenly froze, her voice cracked mid-sentence, and then she collapsed onto her seat as if the ground beneath her had disappeared. No one in the room, family members, relatives, or the few staff attending, could process what had just happened. The identity of the chosen beneficiary was not at all what they expected. For decades, Lee Soon-jae was the symbol of dedication, discipline, and artistic excellence in Korean cinema and theater. He was loved by generations of fans, respected by colleagues, and admired as a towering cultural figure whose charisma only deepened with age. But even more than his public life, people believed he nurtured a deep sense of loyalty to his family, especially his wife, who had been by his side through countless challenges, illnesses, and the relentless pressures of fame. That belief shattered today in the most dramatic way possible. According to close insiders, the will he left behind was not merely large, it was gigantic. The kind of estate that only a lifetime of relentless work could create. Real estate estates, savings, intellectual property rights, and long-standing investments amounting to millions of dollars. Yet, despite the scale of the inheritance, it was not the amount that broke his wife's composure. It was the name written under primary heir, a name no one, not even the closest family members, ever imagined would appear. According to one family friend who witnessed the event, the moment she saw it, her face drained of color, her hand trembled, and she whispered, "This cannot be real. Why him?" before collapsing into tears. The room fell into suffocating silence. Even those who had braced themselves for surprises did not expect this. What made the revelation even more shocking was how carefully Lee Soon-jae had concealed this decision during his final months. His wife admitted that she had noticed he had become quieter, more contemplative, as if he were wrestling with something deep within. But she assumed it was due to his declining health or the emotional weight of preparing for the end of life. Never did she imagine he had been quietly drafting a will that would shake the family's foundation. She recalled moments when he sat alone at his desk late at night, staring at old letters, old photographs, or scripts from decades past. She had approached him many times, offering help, warmth, or simply companionship, but he only responded with a gentle smile and the words, "I just need to organize my thoughts for a while." Those thoughts, it turned out, were far heavier than anyone realized. The identity of the heir was not a family member, not a nephew, not a grandchild, not a sibling, nothing of that sort. It was, according to early reports, a young actor, someone he had mentored quietly behind the scenes for years. Not a superstar, not a household name, but someone he believed held immense potential. a soul he considered the future of Korean acting, someone he thought deserved a chance, a push, a torch to carry into the next generation. To many, this revelation may sound poetic, even noble, but to his wife, it felt like a knife twisting her heart. How could he leave everything to someone outside the family? Why had he never mentioned the boy's name at home? And why did he choose to hide this decision until after his passing? People close to the family say that what crushed her most was not the money, but the realization that his husband had harbored a secret so profound, so deeply tied to his final wishes, and he had never shared it with her. She had always believed that in their decades-long marriage, there was no truth too painful, no memory too dark, no worry too heavy to keep from each other. But this final choice shattered that illusion completely. It wasn't about the inheritance. It was the feeling that he trusted someone else with something he never shared with me, she reportedly whispered through tears. Her grief was not material. It was emotional, spiritual, and irrevocably personal. As news outlets rushed to break the story, public reaction grew increasingly explosive. Some defended the late actor's decision, saying that mentors often see in their protégés something they cannot express openly. Others argued that regardless of his intentions, the secrecy was cruel to his wife, who had given her life to care for him. Commentators on social media erupted with theories. Was the young actor someone he considered a symbolic son? Was he fulfilling an old promise? Had there been a dramatic, untold story between them? The more people speculated, the deeper the mystery became. Yet those who truly knew Soon-jae say that he was a man who made decisions only after long reflection. If he chose this heir, it was because he believed with all his heart that it was the right thing to do, not only for himself, but for the legacy he wished to leave behind. He was not a man motivated by sentiment or impulse. Every gesture he made in his life had intention, structure, and meaning. Still, that reasoning brought little comfort to his devastated wife, for whom the truth arrived like a thunderbolt tearing through her world. Inside the family home, where his portrait now stands surrounded by white chrysanthemums, the atmosphere is heavy, almost suffocating. Relatives try to console her, but she barely responds. Some say she stares into the distance for long stretches, as if replaying scenes of their life together, wondering which moment she missed, which sign she overlooked, and why he chose silence over honesty. Grief is cruel enough on its own, but grief mixed with confusion and betrayal is unbearable. Even now, as journalists gather outside the home and TV stations prepare special broadcasts, the heir himself has remained silent. No statement, no interview, no public appearance. His silence only